IVM.
I think I've got it. I thought my bank was good, thought as in the past tense, because Jupiter has just landed on Earth on my phone and changed my entire life. Jupiter is the digital banking app you've been waiting for. No pesky paperwork, no endless lines. Just create an account in just a couple of taps and off you go. Banking at your convenience, not the banks. Plus, the app offers fantastic rewards. Where the hell has Jupiter been the whole time? Visit the jupiter.money website to find out more. Download the Jupiter app on Android and iOS. Get started.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen yaar, don't be so conservative.
Welcome to Cyrus Says, brought to you by Jupiter, a banking app that helps you master your money. I hold for music. Anyway, I want to just talk about a rant I had. I just dreamed of this 5 minutes ago. See, I lost my debit card again. Oh my God. I mean, this is when it starts, my dance with the bank. I'm dreading this so much because, as you know, I have to now first block my debit card. Then to get a new one, I had to take my documents to the bank, get parking, which is another headache. Then make sure everything is in order. Then get inevitably told that somehow the other document is missing, or at least the triplicate version is missing. Go and get it done. Then pull out my hair and teeth in frustration. Hair is falling thanks to age, but teeth are still there. Fire a few bad words at the bank guy in 4 languages that I've mastered. Have a fight with security and then be escorted out of the bank. All right? Then come back a week later to the bank because there the next time you're a little free, and then finally you'll be issued a new debit card, which still takes about 2 to 3 days to get to me. The whole ordeal is quite a waste of time and highly irritating. So why go through all this role? Just use Jupiter, the digital banking app. And I smile when I say that. Jupiter has super secure card controls for your debit card. You can block and unblock your card as you'd like and permanently block it in case of a lost card. You can also freeze your debit card temporarily to freeze your spends from your account. You can block purchases every night by putting your card to sleep, and a ton more extremely useful features, all available to you with a tap on your phone. It's called Jupiter. Stay tuned for more.
Ladies, I'm sure you will relate to it if I say that we are constantly busy with work, studies, cooking, and what not. And amidst all of this, we often forget an important element that needs our desperate attention: finance. So here we are, bringing to you SBI Life presents A Sip of Finance, a women-exclusive podcast where we will teach you how to manage personal finances in a simple and straightforward way with your host, Priyanka Acharya, a finance expert who's been in the industry for 14 plus years. And not just in English, but in 7 more languages. So tune in every Tuesday for fresh episodes on the IVM Podcast Network and all major podcast streaming platforms.
In the meantime, let's go on to our show. Check out Jupiter Money if you're fed up with traditional banking procedures, folks. And now I introduce you to our panelists, and I also find that my frame is too high. So while I try and unframe myself a little bit, here they come. Silverie.
Hello, sir. Namaste.
Vineet.
Namaste.
And our 4th guest didn't turn up, as usual.
Yeah. We don't know whether he's coming or not. We have been told 2 minutes, but again, that's Punit's 2 minutes, so who knows?
But for me, it's like, when the teacher is not very interesting, so at least 25-30% dropout college mein hote the na, if you remember.
Correct.
It depended on the teacher's profile or the timing. These 2 things were important. So I feel it's just shows you where the show stands in the eyes of those coming on the show. Forget those listening.
Yeah.
Because the participant doesn't want to come. Can you imagine what chance do we have? Vineet,
Give me
please
some
help
credit.
me.
I was here on time. Before time, I was here with my mug of coffee. Everything ready,
very true.
ready to go.
Vineet, you obviously owe money to IBM. There must be some
Yeah.
hold they have on you.
And
Please
There's
don't tell
some
me.
blackmail. Is there a honey trap involved? Tell us everything. I have good lawyer friends. I'll try and help you, bro. Because believe me, you're not telling us the truth.
Oh, this one is not going out to people, right? I can confide in you, not tell this to people.
People. My wife walked out of the room the moment we started. It's that bad. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, कृपया ध्यान दीजिए. Last and final call for arriving flight. Jet Airways 973 from Calicut has just come into, sort of the frame.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I saw his shoulder. We have Punit. This show will survive, Vineet. After all that, he has turned up, and he's not late, actually. He's Just
Hello,
it's
sir.
6:03
Hello.
or 6:04. Not bad, not bad. Puneet, welcome to the show.
Yes, I'm not sure if I'm there yet, but God bless Mumbai locals.
Your beautiful sonorous voice can be heard. It's like Amin Sayani himself.
Yeah, I thought
And
it's
please
Vineet.
tell us about your
Vineet is,
horror
I
horror
thought
story.
Srinivasan, apna, the
No,
short
no.
Mallu guy. No,
No,
this
no.
is a.
He is funnier than I am. I can give you that.
Does he still do
Straight away, the
stand-up,
name calling has started. It's very interesting. Puneet, what is the story with the trains? Now, because the metro, which was supposed to be up and running in 2020, let's extend that time a little bit. So you'll have
So
to
the
make do with the
last
trains
2
only.
years, no, Cyrus, whenever I travel, but I always got a place to sit, which was very disconcerting. Because as a Mumbai
it's not
person,
normal.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not normal. It was worrying.
A false
Yeah.
dawn.
Yeah.
It's like when a girl says
Wait,
yes
where-
to a date. You know, I mean,
Ah.
that's just,
You're boarding from
Yeah.
Kandivali, is it?
I'm voting from all over, dude.
Oh, okay.
पास वसूल करने का अपने को. But now, past few weeks, say I started like not getting place to sit, and now I feel at home. Also, it's
Yes.
very hot.
although technically, you coming from Kandivali to Khar, I mean, at 5 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, historically yes, but now unemployment is everywhere, Cyrus. So at all
So
times,
there are many
in all
Puneets.
directions.
You're not the only one.
Yeah,
There are
and-
many comedians just standing around platforms thinking, मैं यहाँ से वहाँ तक जाता हूँ. There's no reason for it. They just get on the train and see where life takes them.
And there are IPL
Have you ever tried
fans.
doing stand-up in the...
There are IPL fans also.
But have you tried...
Yeah. Stand up in the train.
that's
nahi,
true.
nahi. Stand up in the train.
I don't think it'll be.
Yeah, I think
People-
they'll not
people get
even.
very angry.
Why?
Yes.
They'll not even get what I'm saying.
Yeah. And the kind of comedy Puneet gets in a train, he'll get beat up, man. Very...
See, they'll think I'm trying to sell something.
Okay, process.
That's
Yeah.
the first problem. ये
Yeah.
कुछ बेचने को आया.
Guys, but you are.
Huh?
What are you saying? That's what stand-up is all about.
Correct.
You're selling your thoughts.
But there's huge.
Bro, you're a prostitute. You're a prostitute of comedy. That's what you are.
But
You're a
there's-
freaking brandy.
There's huge competition in the train side. There's guys selling mobile covers, then there's some guy selling snake oil,
that's
and
true.
there are eunuchs also.
That's true.
And-
So you
and-
got the option of mobile cover, a joke now. I'm just thinking, you're
And
right.
You can't
Depends on
compete with the
mood.
eunuchs because they can also touch the audience, which we can't do. Except certain guys from North. We don't do it. So.
Okay, all right. You started some Malu bashing. You've already reached the north. I am telling you now, for peace of mind, this is a country which doesn't appreciate your turn of phrase. So let's back the hell up. Please go back to platform
I'm
16.
a little angry,
Deboard the
Cyrus, I
train.
can't help it.
Go to the
Yes-
ladies'
ye-
compartment.
Yesterday, there was no electricity for 8 hours on a Sunday from 10 to 6 in the evening. And no warning, no, because सरकार मोदी का है, कंपनी अदानी का है, तो माँ चलाओ सब लोग. They randomly cut. अभी कोई किसका फ्रिज में कुछ पड़ा है दवाई, कोई बीमार है.
What I
no
like,
fucks
Silverie
given.
here, he's gone straight for the jugular at the center.
I
Although
know,
electricity board is to do with Maharashtra,
Oh.
nothing to do with the center. And I'm not defending
Modi.
them.
Then
Nothing
Modi
to do with
and
it.
Adani
He's
also.
politicized
Adani
all his
owns
mind.
half the
Yeah.
country
I
now.
personally
Man,
think
you
Kandivali
just
mein
took away
it's going
half
to
our
be Delhi's
sponsors,
fault.
is what happened.
Adani owns half the
And-
country now.
and-
In fact, I wrote this today that Adani is the OG Dougal साहब. उसको सब आता है. उसको कोयला निकालने को भी आता है. उसको एयरपोर्ट चलाने को भी आता है. And even electricity board, no, we had Reliance for a while, and it just changed overnight. No announcement.
They
Nothing.
don't ask you, huh? Like the building doesn't tell you most
No,
of the times. Yeah,
forget
very
us.
rare.
What happened
Who
What
asked?
happened to Tata?
Tata is only.
Don't make a
for-
joke.
Tata
No,
is-
I've got Tata Power back now. I'm very happy in life. It's come back.
Dekha?
It's very happy.
Tata is only for the rich buggers in South Mumbai. You fought for it and you got it. हम लोग को बोला तुम लोग का कुछ नहीं है.
No,
You
Puneet,
just be
it's
grateful
not,
that
Puneet,
you're
it's
getting
not like
electricity. Huh?
Puneet, it's not like we don't care about beyond Bandra, you know. I mean, honestly, yaar. I'm
Yeah,
sure
we
things
care
will
about-
work out for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you come
Beyond Bandra West, there's also Bandra East.
that is the real
Santa
two
Cruz
in-
car
that's the
at
real
most.
two Indias is Bandra
Yeah.
East
What's
and Bandra
happening?
West.
Where's all this coming from? All this because he couldn't find a place to sit on a train
Yeah,
at
wow.
5 o'clock against traffic.
But
traditionally.
I had an online show yesterday, sir, at 6 p.m. Then I had to go to a friend's place to do it from, like the Zoom show.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and I had gone
Because of the
prepared.
electricity.
Yeah. So then I took even a sweatband just in case. You never know. It's a long show. And it's hot.
Really, that's a nightmare, but no, we've forgotten about that. The first 2 years, anything live, not just shows, anything you're doing live with people, and how to explain you on a gao, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When these things go, because other people, they don't have time for that, whoever you're dealing with, and
Yeah.
God. So what is the option now for us? What can we do to ensure? By the way, there's a coal shortage, so they're saying in Maharashtra there'll be more electric issues and load shedding and load cutting and all this.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Imagine you'll have to talk to your family members. That's what's going to happen.
Oh.
You just sit
Again,
there and speak to
We
your
just did
family.
it, a 2-year cycle.
Haven't you had enough?
I've had enough. They've had enough. My wife walked out. The moment she just rolled the scroll for me and just abused me a little bit and walked out, never to be seen again. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get into the show because
Yes.
poor Silverie works very hard. Puneet, he gets great topics and we
Vinay
don't
and
get
me.
to them.
Oh,
most
we're
of the
doing
time.
topics today. Huh? It's just
Yeah.
6:10. Really?
Somewhat. Yes.
And
we
will
will
you
see
stop
how far
packing
we
in-
get. Yes.
In this heterosexual fervor of yours, I'm getting very worried. Keep your hands to yourself. You've had 8,000 people like machis on a train
Yeah.
for about 1 hour and you didn't touch anyone there where they're shoulder to shoulder, hip on hip. And now in this spacious studio, you're grabbing my poor young man
It's-
here.
See, you know what we can do? We can make Puneet put out his arm out of his frame, and it can look. If Cyrus, if you were to act as if Puneet's hand is coming into your frame, you know, you could make it work.
Can I? Vineet, I don't know if you noticed this, but you and Silverie both look like versions of McMahon, the actor from the 80s and 90s.
I'll take it.
That
Who's
me
this?
and Puneet grew up watching.
I'll take it.
I just
McMahon?
look at your faces. Vinay, find a picture of McMahon from the 80s and 90s.
He was in
80s and
Sholay,
70s
right?
Yeah,
almost.
He's
that
the,
guy.
he's the guy
Oh,
in
I know.
Sholay.
Hey,
You're Samba.
everything, yeah.
Samba.
Everything.
Samba in
Yeah,
Sholay,
yeah, of
correct.
course.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I see
So
that.
what do you
I
think,
totally see
Puneet?
that. Correct.
Do you know this guy
Don't
made
they
a
look like the
living
children of
purely-
McMahon?
You know, he made a living purely out of making appearances in people's birthday parties and all, and he'd come and do the dialogue. So that was his corporate gig, and he's funnier than the comics also, obviously. So
He was, and he never had an electricity problem in the 80s and 90s. Okay? He came, performed, lights were on. Nobody complained. You have to be very careful. You have to bring your board, electric board with you wherever you go. Just imagine how problem.
yeah,
Little inverter in your pocket.
Yeah.
I was carrying
Yeah, exactly.
a extension board yesterday with me.
जिधर से मिला उधर से ले लिया
Yeah.
कतियाबाज.
It's like I'm a DJ or something, no, with my small
Like, you know,
equipment
he's,
bag. leke.
yeah. Puneet is the guy climbing those telephone poles.
That's the guy.
Yeah. Like in movies, like you see
Vineet,
old
Vineet.
Govinda movies, right? Where
If you
Johnny
just
Lever.
change Vineet's hair- actually, Silver, your hairstyle
Yeah.
and Vineet's beard is
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
giving
that's
it.
almost
Yeah.
spot on.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, it's a little
I would
mix
say.
of both of you all, but my
Right.
God, it's uncanny.
No, it's good. We've
Oh
got a
my
Sorry, Puneet, you have nothing in common with McMahon.
we've got a transplant set up after this, so
I
we'll do that.
I think he was Sindhi. If at all, we had to clutch at straws.
Yeah.
Punjabi.
Punjab.
Yeah, the Bangalorean bander, if I remember correctly. A very sweet guy, but don't say bad things about all my heroes growing up. These were nice guys from a nice generation, a nice country. It's not what it is now.
Legends. Someone in
and
chat
with
is
those
saying
uncles
Silverie
now.
looks like Al Pacino.
I'll take
No,
anything.
bas.
Yeah, that's
Ranbir
great.
Kapoor to ho gaya.
Say Robert De Niro, Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Ranbir-
I mean, Al Pacino in his
Every
80s.
bearded guy at
Yeah.
this, he'll start forming religions and all that. No, he can't be every
Oh,
bearded guy.
Al
that's
Pacino
ever been
right now, like current Al
ridiculous.
Pacino.
Current Al
like, not like from Serpico days or something like that.
Yeah, but now Al Pacino is a caricature of Al Pacino in reality. He started talking like Al Pacino himself. It's ridiculous. All right.
Anything
So we
but
go to
Will
the first
Smith right
topic.
now.
Okay.
Hey, is it
Oh,
talking about
that's the
Smith.
first topic. What a
Is-
segue.
Is Will
What a
here?
segue.
Yeah,
Is
Will's here.
Is
अपने
Will
बाजू
here?
में है.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's get him
अपना
on the
J-
podcast.
अपना JW में रह रहा है.
Apna JW.
Yeah.
He's already got a taste of India where he thinks everybody speaks German because we call him Will,
Yeah.
Vill. So everybody, Will Smith,
You know, I saw a
Will
very-
Smith, either Will Smith.
I saw a very funny meme or tweet or whatever it was, and it said that
Will
Will
Smith?
Smith has been banned from the Oscars, so he's in India to attend the Filmfare Awards.
The Gudka, whatever.
It's so
What's the
funny.
name? It's a lovely long
Yeah, yeah.
name.
Hey, you think Will
Pan
Smith
Parak,
can
Pan
stand
Masala.
for elections in UP somewhere? I mean, he's got the chops now. He just beats up people
he
randomly.
just stops people literally.
Yeah,
he's got the chops.
He's right
Or he
leaning
slaps
also
you
apparently.
if you don't cast your vote. Puneet,
Yeah,
if you
correct.
don't cast your vote, he slaps you because then he wins the Oscar. Do the maths on the whole thing. He slaps Chris Rock. They quickly vote. Best actor. 20 minutes ke baad, best actor. So it's all a plan.
You know,
You're
that's
right.
what, it's possible that he wasn't going to win the award, but then he slapped Chris Rock and everyone got scared, like, "Arey, ab to dena hi padega, dude. We don't
Yeah,
know. What do you want to
it's
get
clear.
slapped by Will Smith?"
Yeah. And I'm amazed that McMahon has so many lines. McMahon normally doesn't have so many lines in the movie. Yes, fantastic. It's coming out. Yeah.
Before we
Okay.
get into the topics, I must say that headline was the funniest I read in a while. That a man with no hands was booked for stone pelting, and his
Oh, this was
house
the best.
got razed to the
This
ground.
happened in Jehangirpur, the Jehangirpuri arrests that were happening. And during the demolition, right, they said we are only demolishing the houses of the people who participated in the riots that happened like 2 days prior from the demolition. And one of the people was a double amputee, in the sense both his hands are amputated.
Crazy.
And he is accused
Why
of
do you-
stone pelting in the riots.
Crazy.
Not only accused, his house has been razed.
His
to the
house
ground.
has
He's
been
been
razed to the
punished
ground.
already.
Guys,
Yeah.
why do you guys even attempt comedy? See, I mean,
Yeah,
this is
I'm
I
giving
mean,
you-
Yeah.
this genius
Just
is
go to
there.
Delhi and live.
Who are we working all day with one small gag which goes nowhere? I mean, this is genius. I mean, goes back to
In America, Cyrus, there was this phrase, no?
Huh.
There was this phrase that, the offense that you got booked on was driving while black. So that's what is happening here. They're like alive while Muslim. That is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Right. Right.
Puri, that's very interesting because your dad, as a founding member of the RSS, how does it work out at home when you have this liberal view and pro? I'd
We're
love
not
to know
living
that.
in the same decade. No, he is still fighting Indira Gandhi.
No, I don't
That's
want a
too funny.
vasectomy. Madam, what are you doing?
Yeah. Can you imagine? Dad, there's no emergency.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So that means Indira Gandhi is trying really hard for Punit not to be born.
But that's cool, right? That's
Puri, this is a great idea for a sitcom.
that's something you have in common with your dad. Both of you are fighting fascists. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
It's across
But
time.
one is living in the moment, and one seems to be. It's like how
One is
much I
in the
like
textbook.
West Indies of the 80s. It's like that. Things have moved on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oof. But I ask only interestingly, would dinner conversation ever gets heated? I mean, when you have a Jehangirpuri issue and this kind of thing, I can see people getting really aggressive while discussing the matter.
He's a very calm person, otherwise, like me. And it's like we talk over each other. He says something, I say something completely different, and he just keeps
For
going.
those who don't know, he's an academic. He's just a quick background. His dad's an academic, and perhaps from the golden generation of India, who left bag and baggage to come to Bombay and restart a life. So there's all that
People who
background.
lived the
etc.
emergency, they are scoffing at the liberals calling these people fascists because they've seen fascism in complete action. The entire opposition is entirely in the jail, right? And elections are not
Correct.
happening.
So ये
Everything
कुछ
is
नहीं है?
Yeah, मतलब ये तो कुछ
ये
नहीं है.
कुछ नहीं है.
Yeah, the crash
की
course,
बात है.
refresher. This is like summer exams.
It's embarrassing to even talk about it. How dare we throw light on this small issue? You're right.
Come on. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to
Chalo.
more fun
Let's
topic
get
then.
started.
So this is out from Florida in the USA. Basically, a bride from Florida and her caterer are getting arrested because
It sounded like a porn film for a second, but now you've taken it further.
okay, it's not because they're having an
Great
affair.
setup.
Don't worry. It's not because they're having an affair.
The
Basically,
strategic pause you took.
Yeah,
The-
they laced the food at the bride's wedding with marijuana without telling any of the guests. Okay, and all the guests ended up having all the good food and all that was there. And they started noticing, oh, I'm not feeling well, and I had the meatballs, and suddenly now I'm not
One
well,
second.
and etc. etc.
Isn't this called the Kumbh Mela?
That's
Punit,
it.
Punit, I
That's
don't know.
it. It was nice
Oh,
knowing
but
you
again,
guys.
yeah, correct. Jokes over.
Now
Show's
you
over,
got
guys.
it. Now you got it.
Yeah.
You blamed electricity problems in Mumbai and Kandivali on Delhi. So let me tell you.
No,
That's
but
vindictive
religious.
politics.
Religious is a hot button topic. You know how Jignesh Mewani got arrested? He said that Godse is Modi's Devta. And they used that word, the Devta bola, which is hurting our sentiment.
Oh wow!
And Devta is the most common word that you
Yeah.
can use. So now
What did it actually translate as?
a God.
God
Like a
only.
God with a
Deity.
small
Deity,
God,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, God with a small G.
Deity.
God with a small G.
Correct. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right.
Yeah, right.
God of
Yeah,
small
exactly.
things.
And there were so many of the Devtas, no? And some of them were just absolute like slanderers and full debauchery is happening. Bobby, uske liye.
Well, if you're a god, you write your own rules, I guess. Why should you? I mean, if I was God, I'd just say, "Bro, this is what you think is good is actually not good.
Yeah.
You know, what the hell? Change
Or
things
It's
around.
like that Nixon said that when a president does it, it's legal. Who was that? Who was Watergate? Was that Nixon?
Nixon, yeah.
Nixon, only, no? So he
Yeah,
said
Nixon.
it, yeah. So
Nixon.
basically that once
It's
God
also
does
the
something,
Tata
basically
Electrica. Tata Electrica causes confusion, so just be careful.
Okay.
Sounds similar.
Okay, cool.
But coming back to the marijuana controversy,
yes,
they-
so-
why did they lace?
So no, she thought it would be fun, like a fun exercise with my guests. So
Ruben
like,
David wants to
only
know
already
if
a
you'll be
50
arrested with
people
a Kumbh Mela.
wedding, and a 50 audience like wedding, 50 people in attendance. And what happened was people started panicking. They started like calling the cops, like, oh, I don't feel well. What happened to me? I don't know what's happening. And like they called the cops complaining, we've been food poisoned, and they didn't know it was marijuana at the time. And people are like throwing up and puking and like lying down. Apparently that night, some of the guests were like, I had to like sleep in my car because I couldn't get out of my car to enter my house and go to bed. These people are insane, man.
At this point, I just want to say that, guys, regardless of situation, consent is important.
Consent is important.
Consent is very, very important.
Yeah,
Let me just put it out there.
I mean, see,
What about
He's absolutely
in
right.
India,
Because
the first
had
thing is it could be against your religious sentiments that they've listed without checking which god is in charge and all that. I mean, we have so
Correct.
many layers of issues.
Yeah.
I mean,
These very Westerners, they have only one thing: eat drug, drugs.
Yeah, and very presumptuous of her to think that, hey, everyone is okay with marijuana. I mean, maybe I wanted something else. Yeah, what is this?
yeah.
Yes, something stronger.
Something stronger.
The horrible wedding.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But where is the
But
groom
let's
in
go
all
to our
of this? Is the
expert.
groom even there?
And Vineet, with due respect, Punit and Vineet,
I think the wedding got cancelled. The groom was too high.
may I request the expert to throw some light on the situation?
Punit,
Young man.
Go ahead, Punit. Yes.
No, not
Young
Punit.
man, Punit.
Not Punit and Vineet. You basically. Silverie, if you don't mind.
This
So
would-
see,
So what is the point about
no, what
when
I
you
would say
eat?
is,
Yeah.
if you just easily say, there is a batch of hash brownies or like this hash meatballs that I have on the side, and whoever wants to have can have. It'll run out in less than 2 minutes anyway. So you don't have to tell people and disguise it as actual food, dude. People are more than happy to eat it.
this makes-
I'll do you one better, right?
Yeah.
In Indian weddings, you have one counter veg, one counter non-veg,
Yeah.
one counter drugs. It's
Yeah,
as simple as
that's
that.
great.
Dude, it's
That's
simple.
perfect. That is.
I'll do you even better. One counter veg, one counter non-veg, one counter drug, and one counter garlic and onion. Dude, that's another whole story.
So
Yeah.
after all the other 3 counters, you go to garlic and onion counter
let's
anyway.
not
by
forget
default.
the Jain people.
yeah. Yeah.
Puneet, now you are attacking me for Kumbh Mela, but you've attacked every community in the last 15 minutes. You've gone from north, south, east, and west. There's nothing left. So let me have the Kumbh Mela because you've taken everything
No,
else.
you have to do it tactfully, Cyrus. The thing is, it's a very confusing. It's
By
a
naming the
minefield.
communities and shaming them.
Community is fine. No, see, they keep saying Hinduism is way of life, it's not religion. And the next day they will book you also. And imagine what is not religious. Huh? Everything is religious in this country. Like you can say even marriage is religious. No? It's a union of two souls. Loda lasun so. So now you can't even do marriage jokes from
Correct, yeah. It's a Hindu,
it's a
Hindu
slip.
law, yeah.
Also, Loda Lasun is anti-Jain. I'm just saying.
Oh no.
It is, yeah.
I know of all the things to check on, really, in the same breath as we mentioned it. But Puneet seems to be in a lot of angst today. He's got things that he wants to talk about, all to do with the electricity tanking yesterday in the middle of his show, for which he blames Adani and the
8
centre.
hours
for
on a
something.
Sunday.
I still-
8 hours. And
I don't know if that's accurate.
for me, every day is a Sunday, but for the other taxpayers.
I mean, it could have just been a power trip in your area, which has got only to do with your building and maybe 2 other buildings. It may not even go beyond that.
No, the नीचे
I mean,
था
it
ना
could just be
उसका
that.
उसका लोग आया था. They were shifting the box from here to here because the road is being widened or being just fucked for no reason.
Fuck for no reason.
Yeah, fucked for no reason is usually it.
Yeah.
तो अभी वो पूरा बॉक्स को यहाँ से यहाँ उसका वास्तु शिफ्ट हो रहा है. तो everybody going and
वास्तु शिफ्ट हो रहा है.
किसी ने बोला रहेगा यहाँ पे अच्छा है उसका एनर्जी नहीं है कुछ चुतेगा.
But you know what you're saying? It probably makes
facing
more
west.
sense.
Facing
Yeah.
west.
It'll be faster to actually shift the building than shift the road. Sometimes it takes so long with the roads. Might as well just
There's
move
no
the
money
building.
in that.
Yeah.
No, roads money goes to PWD.
PWD.
Buildings is private, yeah.
The 3 best words after MTV. And my dad is like, Beta, why didn't you join PWD? We'd have made so much more money.
I know.
MTV is
If
like,
only. Damn it.
So every
Yeah.
uncle in
the
the
only
Other
crime
vision.
MTV is guilty of is roadies. PWD. So much to talk about.
MTV is still there, no?
Chalo.
Like I wasn't cool enough for MTV even when I was young. Now too is totally out of bounds.
Hey, we have 3 other letters. It's called IVM.
IVM, IVM.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. We should remember IVM, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hello,
There's
hello,
IVM
also
hello, hello.
UTV. There's UTV also.
Nobody polarizes the India more than IVM people. So maybe come on, let's look at Puneet in 15 minutes. He's attacked everyone. Vineet has taken it further. He's divided us on food. Okay, I mean, nothing is sacred. And now our marijuana expert has told us that he believes you should label it so that people can eat it faster. That's the moral of the
You
story.
know, I traveled across the country and only Mumbai lounge has Jain food also. In the airport lounge, no, they have a separate counter.
Which T1 or T2?
Huh? The bigger one.
T2,
The
the
new
good
one.
one.
Yeah, the good one.
Dude, just recently I was going to Himachal and T1 ka airport is so shitty right
It
now,
is
man.
sad.
It is so
sad,
bad.
sad.
The lounge, what a waste. The lounge was.
It looks like that they are in La La Land. It's like they don't
Yeah.
know what day they are on. It's all dark, light become all the stalls have like the closed.
Because see, the maintenance has gone down because I think what has happened is they've shifted all domestic flights to T1 now.
Yeah.
So now they don't give a shit about us, dude. Like जो करना है अंदर ही अंदर करो इंडिया में. बाहर का तो अच्छा लो T2 देख लेंगे हम लोग.
It's like flying off from a museum. ये एक पुराना म्यूजियम था यहाँ पे कोई आता नहीं है अब और कभी-कभी फ्लाइट लेके चले जाओ.
Exactly, that's
So
exactly. what it is.
even the lounge
Or
is
maybe you have to, they get promoted to T2. So T1 is just like a rehearsal. So it's just, you're learning or whatever, not serious.
T1
But don't you
का
feel bad
lounge-
about yourself when you're on a bad airline, bad airport? You feel like your life's going nowhere.
No, I
Because
keep
there's no
reminding myself
food.
that I'm still privileged to be able to fly in this country. मेरा पूरा set है उसके ऊपर, so I can't
Okay,
complain.
nice.
Because only 5.
Would you ever go up to someone like Arnav and like start disturbing in the middle of the flight? No.
I
That would be awesome to see you though, Punit.
I
do that.
never get that angry. And,
But that's only if he's flying.
and imagine how much importance you have to give to a person to do that to somebody.
That's true, right?
He's
Yeah.
not that important in my world.
But only if he's flying Republican Airways.
He comes trained from home, right? That conversation,
Yeah.
the whole thing. He's got background, dude. He's like manja hua khiladi.
Yeah. He's traveling from
In the T1 lounge, like with the older airport, वहाँ पे and it's like all very sad. Even the employees look like they are just there in a dream sequence. तो कुछ था नहीं बुफे में, सिर्फ फ्रूटी का पैकेट दे रहा था, ये नहीं चाहिए. तो
And by the way, it's a small fruity, huh?
yeah.
I've never
Yes,
understood
it
that.
is.
It's only firstly hardly 200 ml or whatever. This is now 120 or something.
That
It's
is just
ridiculous.
because they have a target कितना कचरा करने का दुनिया में. The drink is not the point. They need a carbon footprint target है. इतना कचरा निकालना है अपने को.
Amazing.
So I asked for a tea. At the end, I said, "Can I get a slice of lemon for my tea?" तो वो मेरे को reply भी नहीं किया. He didn't even say no. Then I asked him again.
$10.
No lemon for the tea. So then he said कि
But
lemon
it's
नहीं
$10
है.
now for one.
इतना महंगा?
छोटा
अरे,
नींबू
but all he wants is like half,
Yeah.
less than half.
अरे पर हाफ के लिए भी एक
No,
काटना
I-
पड़ेगा
I
ना,
know.
फिर ढूंढना पड़ेगा बाकी किसको
मतलब
दूं?
हाँ, but
I have
you're making a drink.
I have a fucking membership for the whole year.
Yeah, what you can't give Nimbu.
I got a
This is
platinum
the price
membership.
of inflation.
No, that's not the point. He's saying नींबू नहीं है.
Okay.
तो मैंने बोला पूरा
Obviously, they're not buying it.
I said पूरा किचन है अंदर, वेंचर नींबू कैसे नहीं है
Dude,
अंदर?
talking about that,
अरे उन लोगों ने सारा पैसा म्यूचुअल फंड में डाल दिया. बोला नींबू में नहीं डालना है पैसा.
Exactly.
I once went to a
They
CCD.
can't
I once
afford
went to a cafe coffee day.
No, but listen,
I asked him for tissues.
I'd given up on the nimbu.
Okay,
Okay.
हाँ.
So, and after 10 minutes he came and he gave me the very badly cut nimbu in my hand directly.
Oh, not even on a plate.
हाँ, ले भोसड़ी.
Like,
नींबू तेरे गाड़ में डाल
फेंक
नींबू
दिया.
तेरे.
Catch.
Plate भी नहीं है, tissue paper भी नहीं है. And nimbu cutting is simple, sir. You can just cut in the middle like this, no? He had cut it like in some weird cross section, ऐसा. And he just gave it to me. I'm like, ठीक है.
अरे वो हाथ से तोड़ा रहेगा
But he
ऐसा
gave
लग
the
रहा
whole,
शगुन
he
का
gave the
नींबू.
whole one.
Yeah.
If he gave you the full limbu, then you could have made a profit on it. To be honest, or just a slice.
Sold off, correct.
It's like prison system, ना नींबू मिला भी काट के छोड़ा. तू उधर ले थोड़ा सिगरेट दे वापस ऐसा.
Sorry, I was saying like something Punit said about the Nimbu reminded me that I once went to a CCD with a friend of mine and we ordered for whatever we called for 2 coffees or something, okay?
Male or
And-
female?
Male. But no, we asked for a tissue because we don't get a tissue in the order that they give us. So we asked, sure, we asked for a tissue and the guy in front of us picks up one tissue, tears the tissue in half and gives me half and gives my friend half. And he's like, sorry, we're out of tissues. I'm like, what?
It's the same guy. It's the same
guy who
served
gave this guy the
half
Nimbu.
He could have claimed he's a planeteer or something, no?
Yeah, correct.
Cyrus, have you ever been to a CCD in your life?
I nearly got a deal with CCD.
Ah.
Unfortunately, it didn't go through. I was so happy. I'm not really a coffee person, but yeah. I understand your elitist joke thinking that I'm so rich that I don't go to CCDs and all that, but it's bullshit.
Just goes to Starbucks.
I go anywhere where I can park my
Starbucks
car.
goes to
Can I park my car? I just go. I'm not needed. If it says lesbian school of women, I'll enter if there's parking. If it says
Have you guys-
midgets only, I'll go there if there's parking. If it says right-wing philosophy only, I'll go there if there's parking. I always believe parking is 80% of the battle.
Right.
Follow
Doing
Silverie.
Spoken like a true South Bombay guy.
We've all gone into CCD
Thank
to
you
use the
for-
washroom though, right?
Because
I'm
we
sure at some
care.
point.
Huh?
To use the washroom, have you
What?
just gone in to use the washroom?
I have gone into CCDs to drink water.
Oh wow.
Just
okay.
drink water and get up and leave and like be
They would
totally
prefer
shameless.
that than the washroom thing. Because
Yeah.
enough people just enter CCD, use the washroom and
No,
leave
but if you
without
drink
ordering, like-
water, science dictates that you will actually have to remove the water.
Yeah.
So you stay a little longer, you'll have to use the toilet anyway.
But see, that's why they have so many outlets. No, so you drink water in this one, then go to another one, use the washroom, then drink water elsewhere. It's like chain
That makes
reaction.
sense. That makes sense.
I got bladder control, but then women need to go sometimes. So then you have to hang around holding the purse, looking like a chut. While she does her thing.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
sometimes that doesn't match your outfit. I can understand what you're saying. You're on a highway in Gurgaon with a black purse.
What is the right way to hold a woman's purse as a guy? Is it like this? Is it like this? Or is it like
I
this?
would think with her knowledge, firstly, there are some guys who just take the purse. That's really wrong.
Consent is important.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. He's trying to get a macho moment, a body language out of
Yeah.
it. Now you're stuck with the purse to make the best of the situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose if you throw it over the shoulder, you'll still have a Samson like kind of
Yeah.
look to you Or maybe, sophisticated maybe. But definitely not on the shoulder hanging.
No, but I think across like a sling would be still okay. I think I'll take it. I mean, I'll do it.
Maybe you
across
just
the sleeve.
choke the damn thing as if you're holding like a dead duck in your hand.
But tell me, when you get a woman's purse, don't you want to open it? I would be so difficult not to open it.
No, it's a Pandora's box. You don't know what will come out. And they're always
Which
messy.
is a small purse.
No, it's a black hole.
Okay, be very careful.
It's-
You
it's-
attacked all the states of India. Now you're going after the ladies. You be very careful, brother.
It's a black
Okay?
hole, Cyrus. It looks small, but your hand
Oh.
goes in, doesn't come out only. And there are
Oh my
tissues from
God.
5 years back inside. And there
Oh
are
my
two
God.
ex-boyfriends also, for all you know.
Where are the ladies on the chat? 2 or 3 days.
He's still inside being gaslighted.
Ladies.
Yep.
Oh my God, this is scary. Oof.
Have you ever had to
the-
hold a
the
bus
sil-
purse though? Like,
I've dressed up as a woman many times just for time pass.
Been there.
Because
Just for
our
time
social life was so awkward, we couldn't get dates. So I have long eyelashes, so I was one of the guys they would choose for the dressing up. Let's go to Panchgani when all boys school. Silverie did much worse things, sir.
I once dressed up as a bare-chested Narad Muni in a
Beautiful.
play.
bare-chested
beautiful.
Narad Muni, as opposed to what blazer Narad Muni.
I
Hey,
Yes,
Narad in a Dior suit.
I remember once. Oh, this is like just setting it up that this might get us in trouble but it actually happened to us. A friend of mine was playing Ganesh in the same play. Okay, so we had to basically walk from our campus 2 to campus 1 where the auditorium was in our thing, and so he's in full Ganesh get up walking from campus 2 to campus 1, and on the road he's like doing like whoo to people, like trying to scare them and all, thinking they'll get scared. Okay, and there's a bike coming on the way, and
but Ganesh is not known to scare people. So
but
that's
this guy was
the
doing like he
avatar
thought he
is
was being
wrong.
funny. He thought
Was
he
he
was
a
being funny.
Parsi? Does he
I
have
know.
no idea about the gods' basic, two-liner on the god?
So no. So he's like doing ooh and like, ooh, whatever, like all whatever. He's trying to scare people or like disturb them or freak them out anyway. And there's a bike coming. He does the same thing to the bike. The guy puts out his hand and as the bike is moving, slaps him in the face and continues going wherever he's
Wait,
going.
did he like have the snout and everything?
He
as
had
well?
like a
Oh,
whole
shit.
yeah. He had like a not a soft side. He had like a
It
lot of
came
made out
out.
of paper. I don't remember
came
that
out.
now. I'm sure it went behind.
So technically, the
What were you
FIR
doing?
goes on the bike guy, right? For hurting.
I mean, yeah, it does. It's not on us, but it did happen.
No, the bike guy was only taking it out on people who participated in the riots. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. Oh shit, my friend had participated in the riots. Oh, okay, damn it. Poor guy.
I'll just pretend like I have a Wi-Fi issue and I'm
Okay, Cyrus, let's take a break.
Oh,
already. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
let's take a break.
It's
Let's
no,
take a-
it's
Again, we
not
did
just
nothing.
any
We
break,
spoke about
Cyrus.
nothing.
Let's take
It's,
it.
We talked about cafe coffee day for half an hour, basically.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
what-
did. We
what's wrong
will
with
come
you
back with
guys?
more. No? We'll come back with plenty more. Yeah,
But do we have anything? Are you going to
yeah,
make
we
up
do.
some
We do.
stories?
There's-
Make up some good
it's all on
stories.
your right.
Yeah.
You have to start at the second last comment and
The country is on the right, idiot. What are you saying? Oh, okay. And now, in a very professional voice, I will say it's time for us to go for a quick Jupiter money break. And when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, the stories we have will shock you and shame you. You will not digest your dinner tonight, I promise you, because they're hard-hitting stories when we come back. Quick Jupiter money break.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On The Habit Coach, Ashton talks to Avantika Sinha, managing partner, leadership trainer, and coach at Stillwater Consulting. She shares 5 key mindsets that we all must imbibe in ourselves. The Simplified Gang look into the European Union's recent regulations to rein in tech companies. On the Filter Coffee Podcast, Karthik speaks with author Vasanthi about her new book, Ganga's Choice. On the Life Manifesto, Zarina decodes 7 overrated concepts that we must do away with. And on Football Twaddle, Saru and Yash discuss how Arsenal always disappoints in the season. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Also, please don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on. And remember, you can always check us out on YouTube. We have a number of channels. You can go to ivmpodcast.com/YouTube to take a look at what those channels are. We're also doing a small listener survey to understand how you respond to our shows and the advertising on the network. We would really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it out. It really helps us build better shows for you and understand what you're looking for from advertising and what we can talk to advertisers about who you are. please go to ivmpodcast.com/survey. It really, really, really would help us out. Thank you so much. And finally, would like to thank our sponsors for the network this week, SBI Life Insurance, India Water Portal, and Jupiter, a digital banking app. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Puneet, here's the question. How are you going back home?
Train again, no?
He said he has to do Vasuli, no?
Yeah, Vasuli. 200 rupees pass.
Saga will continue.
Just get to Borivali.
So what are you going to go, hang around and go later, or are you going to go at 7?
No, I'm meeting a friend afterwards.
Ah, so sweet.
Yeah, ask him, male or female. I get those questions. What is
male or female?
This is
older. The pause has done it. The pause has done it. You don't have to answer now.
There's no going back now.
It's an underage female.
It's an older
or a married
female.
woman.
It's a older.
Yeah. No, it's got to be.
It's a older
female
male,
with a rider.
I mean, you know my preference is as an older man.
Your preferences are not older men, but that's fine. You will take what you get. It's fair enough. As long as you don't have another story with religious connections like the last one.
You know,
we're
Cyrus,
fine.
there's a sugar baby app also in the country now where you can.
Vineet is saying yes with a great lot of authority. So let's find out more from him.
Yeah, he was involved with the campaigns for
that.
I'm an investor.
Yeah, he's an investor.
I forgot the name. It has a very good name also, but it's basically like sugar daddies and sugar babies get to connect there. And the kind of euphemisms they use, no? They say that, no, maybe you are now tired of your relationships and you want a relationship which rewards you in more ways than just emotional ways. Maybe you need to find a partner who will help you explore more possibilities in life. Who has resources.
What is this, paradise? This is a new calling for terrorists. Listen, we got something better.
But what is the official age for becoming a sugar daddy? Like, I think I'm a little too young and a little too old to be a fuckboy.
I think no. Sugar daddy, you can be, I think, anything above 30 with money.
It's not an age thing. It's a money thing.
It's a money thing.
It's a money thing. It's not an age thing. You can be sugar daddy at 25.
Yeah, it could actually, yes.
See, that is lower limit, right? Because below 18, if the girl is below 18, then it's not legal. No?
Do you guys feel, do you feel creepy if you have a girl who's much younger than you, with you? Or do you feel like it's a great thing, like everybody's envious of you sort of thing? So there are two ways to look at it.
Like a friend said, consent is everything.
No, but there's also socially okay. There's the half plus 7 rule. That sort of is the benchmark. Half plus 7.
So I was once 28 and went on a date with someone who was 19. Okay, which is fine. But it was definitely awkward because we didn't have much to talk about.
28 ka half is 14. 14 plus 7 is 21. Pass failed. You failed.
Correct.
Half plus 7.
Well,
half plus 7.
Disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried everything. What is morality? What is this? What are you guys showing me?
It's legal but boring. I think that's where you left it.
It's legal but boring. Exactly.
The best line was,
it was legal and interesting. I would have gone ahead.
So what was the girl thinking as a 19-year-old for the 28-year-old? She thought he was. I just want to know, Puneet, do you think she thought he was mature?
Yeah.
No, I mean, maybe. I don't know. So I know there are enough people who are into people who are much older than them and they find that attractive,
Yeah.
So that's probably what she was thinking, yeah.
So she was into Mac Mohan then?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. All of that.
Kitne aadmi se is how an orgy starts, right?
But Puneet, once you reach a certain age, I think it only depends on the word consent again. Nobody cares anymore how old or young because you're, in a situation where it's mostly negative. So it doesn't make any difference. Yeah. So young man, enjoy the 19-year-olds. It happens only once in your life.
This is one person that was and also didn't happen again after that.
The great man Chris Rock has said once that men fuck who they can, women fuck who they want.
And that's why he got slapped by Will Smith.
You should never use the F word on stage. And exactly, I'm glad that Will Smith, who's as we speak visiting Sadhguru as we speak for lessons on motorbike riding or whatever it is that you can learn these days.
Let me show you something that might make you want to slap someone after what I show you.
The show per se does that.
If you were a really rich person who had like a private plane, you would get really angry about what I'm going to show you right now. And
so if you're a sugar daddy to someone.
So you get really
you obviously know the market watching the shows.
Of course. Man, correctly. Aren't they all filthy rich like Will Smith and Chris Rock and others? Okay. Here goes. There's a Tesla. Tesla has something called a smart summon feature.
Smart
where
summon.
So the video shows a driverless Tesla banging into a private plane. Apparently, we've been told that it's a $3 million private plane. Okay, and basically making it turn basically halfway around wherever its axis, the plane. And so the basically Tesla has this smart summon feature where you don't have to like say get wet in the rain before you get to the car.
What?
You can just call the car to you with a press of button and an app.
That's a known feature. That's a known feature.
Yeah,
in
it's a known
certain
feature.
conditions you can bring the...
Yeah, correct.
But can I just ask one question? Was it Jack Dorsey's plane? Because there's a bit of issues going on between the two of them.
No, I don't think that's
it could have been.
But only if it was Elon Musk's car. No, I don't think it was Elon Musk's car also. It was just a random
Then
Tesla
Dorsey would just be like, buy this plane as well, man. Why didn't you just bought Twitter? Buy this as well.
Yeah,
$3 million. Give me.
Right. Some of the Teslas will probably cost more than $3 million. I'm just thinking that the plane got a good deal on the whole thing.
But
It's
So
called
what's
what?
the
Get wet
excuse?
feature. Is that what it is?
smart
Smart
summon.
summon.
How do you think get wet?
You said get
Wet.
That is, nobody said get wet.
You
What
said,
comments say? What
you
comments
said
say?
get wet yourself.
No, I did
Yeah,
not.
After the host.
Someone said get
Sugar
wet.
daddy. Silverie, you found your sugar daddy.
Yeah.
His name is Punit.
Yeah,
He's
correct.
touched you 16 times since the show started.
He
Vineet
wants
to
has
get
not
me
touched
wet.
anyone.
He
I have to
owns
show
all
you
the cars. I
contrast
only
here.
have like a local car.
Oh shit, that was my Tesla. Damn it. Ah man, now it's all damaged and all. Yeah, I hate it. Oh well.
So what's the excuse for this happening? What's
No.
the
So
backstory of
basically,
this?
like what it is, if you saw the video, the Tesla is definitely accounting for things on the road, but not things that are above it. Okay, and this thing was above like that part of the plane, the end part of the plane, the back part of the plane was above the Tesla when it went forward, and so maybe it just did not register. And once it hit, so it stops for a bit after hitting initially. So it's probably like, oh, maybe I hit something. The car is thinking, maybe I hit something, and then nothing happened. They're like, oh, I guess I did, and then continues to move again, and then
You're giving too much credit to the car.
yeah. I mean, yeah. And the plane was like, hey, get off my ass, dude. What are you doing? And Tesla like, no, I have to
So what
go
you're
to
saying-
my master. And whatever.
If anything is dangling, they're not prepared for that because they have just a basic surface area.
Yeah.
But anything dangling extra from anywhere,
Sure.
they'll never survive India. Everything is dangling.
Yeah, correct.
Nothing is permanent in Bombay, for example. It's madness.
You know, there are
But
certain
Tesla
places
will
in
last
India
20
which have
minutes.
like a tiny, like to keep out
Yeah.
trucks and all.
Trucks, yeah.
They have like a tiny bars
Yeah.
thing, like they do.
You had to be this high to go on this ride. That's what
Let me
Go to
tell
that
you how many
wedding,
times
get high.
Western technology fails. I was in Surat on Friday and I had to find an indoor stadium in Surat. And the GPS went all over the place. We went to many stadiums, we met many people, we found many lefts, but we just didn't find the stadium. So I believe Western technology is not yet ready for us. They haven't, evolved to a level where they can handle our kind of mixed sort of geographies and stuff. So I'm very worried now. No Tesla. Cancel our Tesla booking. Forget it, yeah.
I'm thinking
I
about
cancel
the
my
guy.
private plane booking also.
That's already cancelled. It's
Aditya,
done.
no,
Like, I don't think you had a choice in the matter.
This has become a locker room show now. Aditya SK saying, what is all this dangling stuff? Necessarily. So, I mean,
Just locker room
one
talk.
guy's because he's molesting the host in the middle. There's all sexual innuendo. Vineet, you're the only saving grace. The last of the heterosexuals. Normal,
Last
My
Man,
hand,
the heterosexual
actually,
guy.
Silverie is just out of reach for me. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you know how it goes.
Oh, okay. So Cyrus, don't come to the studio tomorrow.
but no.
Kya
He's
hota
saying
hai?
metaphorically. He's saying in a way out of reach. As in your affluence is too much, no?
Oh, yes, of
Boy
course.
में
That
7 गाड़ी है,
also, I
पंचगड़ी में
understand.
5 गाड़ी है,
That I
पंजाब में 10
understand,
गाड़ी है. Daily property, you don't even know what is yours.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
day you go
correct,
to
yeah.
fight, right?
Correct.
Exactly.
It's so good to be that rich. You're not sure, but you know you have something, and one
Yeah.
day it'll all come to
Yeah, correct.
bear fruit. Yeah.
Spare a thought for a
Seriously,
second
Punit,
for the guy who pressed the button to get the Tesla in. Just spare a
He
thought.
didn't stop. He didn't
He's
stop.
like- he's like-
But, yeah.
Where is my car? What's happening?
He's still waiting.
Just still waiting.
Yeah.
But
Also,
he was
no.
indoors, I
So apparently,
presume,
what
right?
it is
He was indoors.
you have to be in the line of sight of the car.
Really?
So I'm thinking he saw his car doing all this and kept going. Yeah, this is normal only.
Or-
he thought he'll get a
Or
reel
he
out
was
of it.
testing the car. He wanted to see.
Cloud,
Yeah,
social
what
cloud.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sometimes
what
your
you
life
said?
is empty. You're not a sugar daddy. You got to do something with the day. So what the hell? Let's bang the car. Let's see what happens.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Wow.
do.
How
let's
much is regular? It's a stupid question because they're different brands. But how much money do you need for Tesla right now as we speak? Any idea?
Just a sec.
I think it's
Just like a
India? Is it
standard,
available?
regular.
No.
India the double duty 120% on that. I think 60K is starting or something like that. No? So USD
60?
60,000 USD.
60,000 USD in America. On Indian roads, it'll be
150. or so.
200%.
Huh.
Yeah, with tax.
Plus the
150.
other
Correct.
customs.
Yeah.
No, the extra. The money that's on white paper we're talking about, not the extras. That's another thing they'll have to deal with.
Here, people
Silverie, don't make
want
the
a
car. Just find out the
custom
price.
nameplate also, no? on
60,000. 60,000 USD.
So we have the genius Vineet. We don't have to waste time with all this Google. We just ask him, Vineet, who's God? Vineet, who made man? Vineet, when is the next public holiday?
All Modi ji, answer Modi.
Oh, okay.
Very clear, very simple. Now these days only all answer.
All right. Wi-Fi problem. I'm on another Wi-Fi problem.
When
Can't hear what you
Tesla
guys
finally
talking about.
comes to India, you think Jat boys will put all the stickers behind उसमें भी माँ बाप का आशीर्वाद.
Daddy's gift.
For sure.
Yeah, I get very worried when you have Meet the Kapoors and things like that. Only because you bang the car with Meet the Kapoors on it, it sounds so funny. Bang! There on the dashboard. Meet the Kapoors.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Okay,
Alright,
let's do
we have time for a story?
Yes, let's do one more story. Is basically the recent Rajasthan Royals versus Delhi Capitals match that happened, in that Rishabh Pant got into a spat with the umpires because the umpires didn't call for no
He
ball.
just attacked them.
Yeah, he attacked
Spat
them.
is when two people fight.
Oh, okay. They weren't
So,
fighting
shall
back.
I set it up, Silverie? Shall I
No.
set it
So
up? You look
okay,
like you're
I'll set it
drowning.
up, and then you tell me how wrong I am. I think that'll be good.
Okay, great. That'll be more
Okay?
fun than
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
going
correct.
through it. Come on.
So basically, what my understanding is there are like last 6 balls of the innings left, right? And Delhi Capitals have to make 36 runs to win. And
Very good so far.
Yeah, the ball comes in once, 6. Twice, another 6. Third time, one more goddamn 6.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then after the third ball, Rishabh Pant from the sidelines, from off the field, calls
The
for
ball
a
was
no
waist high.
Yeah.
It was touch
The
and
third
go,
ball,
waist
correct.
high, full toss.
Yeah, it was waist high.
To Rovman Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And he asked the watchman,
Okay.
hey, watchman, sorry, umpire.
The watchman. Okay, that's your first mistake. You were going great. You got the watchman. The watchman is a Shah Rukh Khan
Hello,
story
watchman,
from an
क्या कर रहे
IPL.
हो?
Wankhede Stadium IPL long ago. That's a totally different story. You jammed the two stories together. But see now Punit, let's stop the story. I'll tell you why. We can't get more humor out of
No,
it.
this
Because
is
you
all
killed it
Rishabh
with that
Pant's fault.
watchman remark.
People have
Yeah.
lost respect for
For
umpires.
umpires. So
Yeah.
he calls.
Calling them watchmen to begin with.
Correct. He shouts at the umpire, hey, that was a no ball. Give me that no ball appeal. And the umpire was like, no man, our word is final. Screw you, Rishabh Pant. And Rishabh Pant was like, no, I'm not gonna play. I'm a baby. And he's like, my players come off. Bat mera hai, ball bhi meri hai, and we're not playing anymore. And
You don't need us because now you
yeah.
filled in all the gaps. Given the dialogue also, you made it a Delhi slangy
Exactly.
match. So please carry on.
Yeah. And but then after the match, Rishabh Pant lost
100% of his
100%
match fee, which is
of the
almost a
fees
draw.
for that match. Yeah.
See, that was the thing that made me cry that day. I was thinking he gets one match fee money deducted and it's almost a crore. Who amongst us works for 20 overs to make 1 crore? I mean,
goddamn,
really.
dude. Yeah,
I mean, it's so unfair. I wish he would little more punishment just for that.
But I think
But
this will
let's
become
talk to,
more and more common now because people like it as entertainment and people are angry in general right now.
It goes back to Dhoni, who's not known to behave like that, intimidating the umpires 3 years back, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
Similar thing where he goes on, and just his body language, like that alpha. He suddenly looks like straight out of a Tamil film, like a young Rajni going to pick a fight. And Virat has done the same thing. So it's there in
Ponting
India's
did it. Ricky
pop
Ponting did
culture.
it years back. He was the OG.
Ricky Ponting has done it. Their
The
coach
OG is
was,
Arjuna Ranatunga.
Oh,
When Mutaya Muralidharan
Yes,
was
well
called
done,
for
well done.
chucking,
Yeah.
that was the time when he walked
Yeah.
off and then got
Yeah.
respect for it.
Well, then the OG is Sunny Gavaskar because when Lily abused him in 80-81 series, he took Chetan, he asked Chauhan to walk off and Chauhan finally got some runs. It was like, boss, aaj mere ko karne do. Aaj nahi, please, one chance. But yeah.
But how in ice hockey
Okay, so
they
here's-
let them fight for a bit? No, ऐसा इसमें allow करना चाहिए.
It's good TV.
Correct. And also, I'll
It's
tell
good
you
TV.
one thing. No, but money has changed the game so much that the pressure becomes much more than country, I think, at the end of the day. Because the IPL, you get dropped overnight, you lose your power overnight. You can just see a couple of players who lose captaincy and they disappear into the fringes.
Yeah.
So I just think that they really, really take it far too seriously because it's really
More
their
than the
money
country,
on the
right?
line in a
Because you
sense.
can't be sugar daddy anymore if the money
You
stops
can't be
coming
sugar daddy
in.
forever.
But
No.
there's a pattern
I'm
here,
glad
though.
you-
There's a pattern here. You see Oscars with Will Smith slapping the guy. Oscars ratings have been dropping for years. IPL ratings are dropping
Yeah.
this year as well, and this shit
Correct.
is going on.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think
Correct.
it's a ploy and it's very smart, right? Because India में क्या चलता है drama और हम दे रहे हैं हमको drama.
Correct.
So here you go.
I think cricket, politics,
No, so
religion are
Vineet,
three
let's take
big
that
ones.
further. So then he screwed up. He should have slapped. He should have gone on the field.
Yeah,
he should have
correct.
slapped the umpire, and we'd have had a windfall.
Full on.
Really.
Full on.
In-
Well,
in-
it would have been like 7 days times now, all day, all night. That's what's going on. क्या हुआ? ऋषभ पंत ने क्या किया? दुनिया जानना चाहती है. That feels.
in wrestling it happens all the time, right? They wreck the referees.
Oh, yeah.
Chair shot मार रहा है कुत्ते के जैसा.
Punit, that's part of the script. In IPL, it's not supposed to be part of the script. Also, one thing you don't understand. Pravin
IPL
Amre,
also has
lovely guy.
scripts, Cyrus. Let's not be childish now. It's not as
True.
good as the
But
wrestling
Pravin
scripts.
Amre-
but-
Oh shit, yeah, man.
Sorry, you were saying?
Explain hierarchy. Just explain the hierarchy to me. Ricky Ponting is isolated because of COVID in the family. So Pravin Amre is the assistant coach. So he becomes like the coach. So he's now the boss of that dugout, right? But how is it that Rishabh Pant sends him onto the field? I mean, firstly, shouldn't he be the boss telling Rishabh Pant, no, we can't do this? It's very confusing. Because technically, they are the guys in charge
I
and the
think
players are under them.
Pant just had a Will Smith moment. That's all it is.
Yep.
He just lost it.
So we are all allowed a Will Smith moment, is what we take from this.
Yeah, temporary loss of sanity. That's how they plead in the court now.
Yeah.
I think in a few years from now, Cyrus, cricket, Bollywood, religion will converge, and then you will start having public executions within the halftime of the IPL match.
I am a huge fan of temporary loss of insanity. Temporary loss of sanity, or like the Pink Floyd album says. I'm a big fan of it because that's the only way people will listen to our show. So, frankly speaking, it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah. Momentary lapse of reason.
Momentary
whatever you
lapse
call
of
it.
reason. That's what.
But
there's a
also though,
question.
if it was actually a no ball, shouldn't
Yeah, that's the question
Yeah,
Ruben is asking.
so yeah, so should
But how can you say? It's a very grey area because we don't have the technology to say where the waist high is when he's erect.
like that?
Sorry to use the word, standing upright. And it's a tough one, yeah.
You can't
You have
do a
to go with the
review for
umpire's
this. Right?
call.
You can do a review for the line. when
Yeah,
he's delivering,
there's no
but
third
I
umpire
don't
for
know,
no
yeah.
ball.
But how will you? I mean, it's not touching a surface. It's going past without touching anything. So it's a bit tough. I don't know if the
I
technology
think
can
they're
be.
holding on to the
absolutely
umpire
correct.
for no reason. We can have computers doing everything now. This is just nostalgia. So we should just let go of it and have a
They should insert a laser inside the organs of the cricketer so that laser gets activated by the heat of the ball going past, so we know the point where it passed.
Oh, no.
It's possible with this insertion in an orifice in the body, either the mouth or the. You put that in, and then so that it gives you a meter reading immediately. The meter reading is in the umpire's hand, and he goes, "Oh, okay, Rovman Powell, it touched your second rib from the right or whatever." And, okay, so that's a no ball.
We'll have a sponsor
must
for
be a
that
way.
also.
Yeah, correct.
But honestly, I think it's good for cricket with a little bit of this. Exactly what Vineet said. It's terrible behavior, no doubt about that. But it's good for cricket. I think with the pressure, we're going to see more of this. And now that you guys open our eyes to Will Smith, pressure is the reason why all this is happening. It's the bad behavior is completely to do with pressure. What exactly that pressure is different, but it's all psychological, and these things, the manifestation of psychological damage and problems, which who can help people with.
They should
And that's
bring
why we
the
have this show,
stump mics
Silverie.
back,
And
Cyrus.
marijuana for everyone.
There's so much content that we're missing out on.
Wait,
Hold on.
they don't have stump mics anymore?
Yeah, because 2-3 log गाली
गाली
दे
दे
रहे
रहे
हैं.
put it
they
off.
got caught.
Yeah.
guys, they have the mic and they hear it in the commentary.
Yeah.
But because there's
They don't air
racist
it.
comments more than anything else, the racist comments became a huge issue, and of course,
Yeah.
religious comments when our type of people are playing. So they had to, because you'll have real problems. Can you imagine what people say? Just use your head.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
when it comes to race and religion.
There
So
was
just on
Dhoni,
that
right?
alone.
Once saying, "Hey, chutiye, hey, bade," something like that. क्या कर रहा है इधर
Dude,
देख,
but
इधर
a
देख.
lot of
Hey,
them- a
they
lot
wanna
of players
cut
have
it
done
off for
that.
That's just galis.
It's very common. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
when when he becomes a Punit and gives a regional flavor to it, and then tells you why this particular part of the country sucks, and then explains why.
But Cyrus, even
That's
Yogi
a
ji did
huge
it once.
issue.
You know, there's a blooper when there was a
Not
guy
once, every day.
on camera once.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
camera
He's like,
once.
कैसे चूते ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछते हो ना?
हाँ, the
put it
ANI
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
had this mic little too far away. तो क्या चुतियागिरी कर रहे थे सबने
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's what he said.
He got
And
caught.
Not
then
Chutiagiri is a very friendly word. It was much worse.
Oh, there was one that Dhoni also did. Hey,
हाँ.
किधर देख रहा है भोसड़ी के that one? Yeah. इधर देख ले. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
इधर देख.
BSDK. The exact translation has been given by Ramanathan Neelakanthan. BSDK. Now remember, DK is probably the guy who might take the gloves away from Rishabh Pant. That's another thing which I'm just bringing back Will Smith. I love the psychology of all these things. I'm a petty small man. Rishabh is listening to everybody talking about how DK has been outstanding. World Cup is around the corner in October in Australia. Many people are saying, okay, then let the best wicketkeeper batsman in India in this format go. If that happens, then Rishabh doesn't go on form right now, and DK goes. So all these things are playing in your head. I'm just saying.
You can do
and it's
Big Boss
possible that
instead, no, Cyrus.
unfortunately,
Once you're famous, you can always do something. Don't go to
you know how much? 1 crore per match. How much you going to pay him in Big Boss to sit there and listen to some washed out actress tell about a love story?
Yeah,
Because it's very painful
Yeah. In fact, Big Boss is the last resort. You do that before you.
for you and me, not for a superstar in cricket. He should at least get a Padma Shri and then a biopic. That's the very least.
That you
For
can do
God's
after
sake.
lifetime ban. No, Srisant went after lifetime ban. I think.
Yeah,
That was the one.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
can do it. You get a lifetime ban, then Big Boss is where you. It's like-
Padma Shri thoda
Lifetime
mushkil
ban
hai.
is
You have to
fantastic,
do a
boss.
propaganda
Really,
movie
you
first.
go up in life. Puneet, would you like a lifetime ban? How would you feel? Would your
Lifetime ban
parents be
from
proud?
what? Like, I am not a part of any group. So what
Well,
will
from
you
the
ban?
trains.
Train
You abused
में-
everybody. From the country.
Like a no-fly list hota hai kya train mein? I think trains
Train
are
is
the-
a no-fly list.
train
only.
is the most democratic place right now in the country. At least वहाँ पे कोई पूछता नहीं.
What ticket do you have? Do you have a
Second class.
Second class. okay, not a first class.
Yeah. I used to have first class, but then the thing is.
But then that's when you were getting the seats. Then you can't be surprised if you're not getting seats.
No.
in second
Wait,
class.
I used to have first class then.
Yeah, but there are only 2 dabbas, no? And I'm always running to get into a compartment.
Okay, हाँ.
So often I get into a second class anyway. So I'm like, why am I paying money?
Yeah, fair.
And there are too many of these, like, Gujju market people in the
Cheated
first
and
class.
defeated by the system. This is a beautiful story. This is the best story
Yeah,
of
they
the
make
day.
it so difficult to get to
So
first class.
ultimately,
Got out.
you have to go cheaper because you're anyway cheaper. There's no way out. Yeah, okay. It's fantastic.
Yeah, second class is more real, Cyrus. First class, no, people act snobbish for no reason. I'm like, यार train ही है ये, इतना क्या?
First class में घुसने वाला feel luxury liner में आए अभी यहाँ पे. Would you like a hot towel, sir?
And you know the rule, right? In first class, Cyrus, only 3 people can sit on the seat. 4 नहीं बैठ सकता है. Even though it is completely crowded, you can't. And I'm like, यार तू Indian आदमी इतना जगह तू कैसे ले सकता है? Don't you feel guilty taking up so much space? Because you can easily scrunch in and get one more person. You can't do it with first class. And also too many Gujjus
So
in
maybe-
first class. So
Okay. All right. It had to happen, guys. Like a time bomb, bro. I mean, it's a matter
Okay,
of
I
time.
think it's,
We can't keep him on for so long. Let him do guest appearance 10 to 15 minutes. Then we hope everything's okay. Then we give him a break for some time.
just yesterday I heard
God.
this stereotype.
You live
that-
in Kandivali. You should be speaking fluent Gujarati, which you do, by the way. Huh?
Vishwayatri has said, what about AC local, Punit?
Oh yeah, AC local, but what doesn't stop at Kandivali, no? It's a fast
Oh,
train.
yeah.
Again,
poor
defeated
thing.
by the
Oh, you
system.
poor thing.
Once
Oh,
again.
what is that Michael Douglas film, Falling Down? You got to do a Hindi version of Falling Down with you as a star.
But in AC local, no, the TC comes every time because
उसको भी AC चाहिए ना?
if he catches you there, then the higher fine, I guess,
Yeah, I
obviously.
guess, yeah.
Imagine the TC there takes much longer with the whole मामला.
Yeah, आराम से,
It's
अरे
like,
बैठो,
is he
बैठो,
gonna
अरे
cool
यार
down?
जल्दी क्या है,
नाम
आराम
क्या
से.
है पता होता और क्या देखा मैच कल.
But the best stereotype is
Like no anger, you know, TCs are very rude in India very often. अरे ticket देखो. He's like this guy
yeah.
like in
Totally
Zen
different,
form, like
yeah.
हाँ, जो
Yeah,
करना
yeah.
करो. Ticket नहीं
He's
है,
like,
अरे
खरी
no
क्या
tension,
है?
अरे बिंदास.
Sort out हो जाएगा. Let's talk. Yeah.
They've shown that AC local in one film though. There's this film, no, the Disciple, तमन्ने का film on Netflix, no, about that classical music.
Oh yeah?
उसमें last scene में वो पूरा AC local दिखाता है. And I guess he did it because sound उसमें कम आता होगा. Shooting के लिए it must be easier.
Or I thought like, is it? It's not an Indian movie.
But
Disciple.
can you
Oh,
imagine?
it's a very much Mumbai movie.
क्या हो रहा है?
Yeah,
Oh, what?
all-
But,
yeah.
but Puneet, what I appreciate is you're watching a movie on music, and what you got out of it is that they shot in a day in the last scene.
Oh,
That's
वो
what you
AC
do.
local है.
Came home with a smile.
Yeah.
Like the music, पता नहीं. But I really like that last shot.
Yeah.
But you
How
know,
do they
people work in a diamond market. No, the Gujjus who work in diamond market, they travel by train and they carry the diamonds in the chor kisha यहाँ पे. You know, there's a
Are you kidding?
Oh,
Yeah.
हाँ, extra.
that's the last place you will look.
Even now?
Yeah. You know what a chor kisa is, right?
Yeah.
You know what a chor kisa is.
Yeah,
Cyrus?
your pant has that extra
Show us,
pocket,
no?
Then
Yeah.
next to the belt.
It's
yeah.
inside the
Yeah.
underwear.
Yeah. I mean, Cyrus has had a good life.
No,
so he
no,
doesn't know
depends.
what-
Sometimes you have it in the underwear, as part of the underwear. Sometimes your jeans or your pants
Yeah,
also
yeah,
have
yeah.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Part
Right,
of the
your parents
underwear.
really
Yeah,
like you
but-
to have
Underwear
diamonds.
will also have it. Yeah, I've seen underwear.
You have diamonds in the underwear. The parents really
Yeah,
like
so
you. These things
so
are possible.
not anymore, but older underwear. If you wear,
Hey, वहाँ से
I don't know why I'm wearing old underwear, but
Hey, वो सिर्फ वहाँ से
Really
बाहर
old
निकालने का होता था. That's not a खींचा.
what?
You have to take it out from there.
But what kind of...
You are using it wrong, dude.
Two separate things.
That's why they call it a diamond. Puneet, they call it diamond in the rough, na? It's a polished diamond. That's what it means.
This
You
is
have to
so
understand.
dangerous. Imagine losing a diamond in Sulabh Shauchalaya, dude. It's
Oh
the-
shit.
Oh
It
god.
could be the most expensive dump you took in your life.
But one thing is there. It's the only time people will volunteer to help you. You know, in that situation. Can you imagine? That's the only time I can think of.
Blood diamond.
Okay, guys,
All
it's
right,
9
let's please
o'clock.
get to the AMAs.
2 hours ahead of the show.
Yes. All right.
AMAs.
AMAs.
What is the workplace and how does your gender and body affect your right at work? Hey, I'm Priya Mirza, and on the Longest Constitution podcast, we critically examine the vision of the Indian Constitution and laws. In season 1, we look at sex, gender, sexuality in India, and the landmark judgments which transformed our rights as citizens in this country. In season 2, we discuss the laws which shape the workplace and examine how ability, competence, and merit impact us, and much more. Join me, Priya Mirza, every Wednesday only on the IVM Podcast app, website, and all the major podcast streaming platforms.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
Amen.
Yes, the first one comes in from Pradeep Pillai. After a while, hey Pradeep, who says, thoughts of the panelists about the exclusive technology available with us Indians, which enables our ministers to point a remote control at the screen and press the button, inaugurating a project sitting at remote places.
Hey, we are quite
I'm actually
panelists,
pro
Thakur.
this.
Are we panelists?
I'm very pro this
Yeah.
because let Vineet will take
Because
it back.
you hate to
Absolutely, see, I'm
travel,
very-
I'm sure.
No, I don't like these guys on the road. I believe they're a
Oh,
nuisance.
yeah. The
So
VIP
you can keep
culture,
them locked up in small rooms with buttons and all. I'm very happy. Keep them forever inside there. But Vineet has a much better response. Let's go to it. Yeah.
I read this news article once and it's been a while, but this was about a really like special train, Surat, Bombay, super fast, some shit like that. That has been for 3 months. The launch has been delayed because the railway minister couldn't come for 3 months.
Couldn't be found.
Wow.
Couldn't-
He
Yeah,
couldn't. Yeah, correct.
On the
This
day
is
of
a
the
true story,
launch, the train left because this guy was late. The train left.
Oh,
It's
was
been
Aake was-
delayed. 3 months delayed. This guy reaches half an hour, 45 minutes after the train has left.
Oh.
So fully with you,
And the
Pradeep, I
irony-
think this technology is must.
must need it.
Vineet, the irony of the whole thing is it was supposed to be a super fast train. The
Yeah.
whole idea was speed.
Yeah,
They
correct.
got that. It's all about speed. Guy comes late. They can't start it on time. They can't do the inauguration. It's hilarious.
It was beautiful, beautiful. So I think
Yeah.
Pradeep's request for this technology for our ministers, absolutely. करना ही चाहिए.
I think politicians should be seen and not heard. I mean, heard and not seen. We don't have to see them. Seeing is very dangerous.
Then
Seeing causes
everyone will
traffic
have
jam
one
for
ki baat.
nothing. But at least there, that side, they know who he is. But in our side, where I live, nobody knows who you are. So why are you running around with your car? Nobody knows. If you die, you got shot also, they still won't know you. You can die in my area and nobody will know who you are because you want a rich businessman. Nobody cares.
But now all the
It's very
mantris
sad.
have become very savvy, because of Modi ji himself. Now they all treat themselves like stars. So everybody has their profile very well manicured, and they will even do like a touch up on the photograph. The airbrush किया हुआ है. तो कोई local
I
गुंडा है,
feel-
आपको पता है ये गुंडा आदमी है. But वो he's some guy in the party, and you look at his profile, he's done it up like पूरा filter.
Also, ugly men using makeup, it highlights the ugliness. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to do. You suddenly touch up, then make him look shining and all. Suddenly you notice how ugly he really is.
Yes.
Where you probably would have just let it pass.
Especially on the hoardings,
Aye.
like all the festivals, they are on the hoardings, right, everywhere, and they do a full airbrush, and I'm like, अभी भी उसका पाप दिख रहा है. And the hoardings are so big, Cyrus. I think after a few years, Ganpati will be on the hoarding, and the Murti Mantri का रहेगा. They will replace.
Lots of Ganesh jokes today. Huh?
Having reached the line of actual control, we really need to pull out as soon as possible.
Okay.
Before Punit crosses the line.
Yeah, there's a couple of more questions if you guys don't mind. Okay, one is a great comment for Punit who says, Vikram says, Punit, loving your Q&As, don't stop doing them. Very good, very good.
I had edited two.
Vineet, they want to know if you're a stand-up comedian. I got a totally. I'm on another show. You got it. The commenter.
The commenter says, seeing Vineet
don't
for the
you
first time
think-
on Cyrus says, I don't think Cyrus even
But there's a
introduced
reason
him.
for that.
Is he stand-up
You put me
comedian?
under pressure with all the banking conversation I have to do spontaneously and how to manage the panels. The guests be damned. Because suddenly my only worry is will I be able to find that relevant information spontaneously from my head to convey.
So,
Yeah.
Vineet is the host of Storytell and Storysellers on the IVM Podcast Network. And he is also
is he a
working
comedian
at
is what they want
Spotify
to know.
as a
Marketing person.
as a marketing expert at
You're not
Spotify.
getting the point. Simply the
What?
point is they find him funniest out of the four of us and he's the
Oh,
only
he's a stand-up
non-comedian.
comedian. Oh, right.
That's the fucking problem.
No, I didn't get it
It's a
only.
humiliation. We are back in second class. We have gone nowhere. We are traveling in second class today for sure.
Oh, great. This is great. All right.
Yeah, that's who I am.
All right. And next question comes in from InfoShots who says, Hey Cyrus, would you have liked to recite the Asham Vohu or Asham Vohu in front of the
Asham
CM's
Vohu,
house had you been an MP?
But I only know one verse. These talk about the Parsi prayers which are in Farsi.
Oh, okay.
And everybody learns them by rote. There are a few actually try and understand and all that, but my daughter is better. You remember the prayers? One verse, 2 verses you'll do, no?
I'll do.
Yeah.
You know the Asham wo?
So-
wo prayers?
It's in Farsi. So,
But Vineet says
if
he
I
knows
teach
them.
you Mandarin,
No, you're
Huh?
joking. You don't actually
No,
know
I
it.
actually know it.
You actually know it.
Ashim Bahu Vahiste Masti Usta Asti Usta
Wow.
Amai
You just-
Sat Asai
Yes,
Vahistai Ashim.
I think you have to stand at
Vineet,
attention.
you have
know.
Farsi?
Oh, sorry.
No, I just
Sorry,
went- Like my school was very secular, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So they were like,
yeah.
learn all the prayers, all of them.
Was being the key word.
Really? Give me other prayers. Give me other prayers. I want to hear all the prayers. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go through the religions.
Oh,
Zero, ठीक है, I have time.
Oh, sorry.
No. Don't upset Punit.
Okay.
No. Just stay away from Hinduism. Go for all the other religions. Leave
In
Hinduism alone.
Xavier's,
Yeah.
before any of these programs, they would do all the prayers of all the religions symbolically. And this was way back when even Zakir Naik could come around sometime before they found out that he's dangerous. And people would do one prayer. And Father Mascarenas was the Sanskrit teacher.
Father Mascarenas was a Sanskrit
Yeah,
teacher.
yeah, he was a PhD.
The Father
in Sanskrit.
Mascarenas
Wow, that
who
is
taught me,
very
who
impressive.
taught us, the same guy.
Yeah, the guy with the long hair and the long beard. Harris Institute.
Correct.
Harris Institute.
Yes.
history. He was a
But
PhD
there
in
were two,
Sanskrit.
huh?
So he knew all the
Yeah.
Sanskrit slokas, but
Yeah.
they were happier times.
What is the point of your story, Punit? No wonder they voted Vineet as the funniest guy on the show. What the hell? Your sugar daddy on the right, heckling and molesting each other. What's going on in the studio?
This is just
Yeah.
like
And
a
then
trivia.
our
trivia.
only comedian is a wannabe Parsi who knows the prayers better than the other Parsis.
Wannabe
That's so
Parsi.
embarrassing. This country sucks, man. Really, we're going downhill really fast. Stick to your own tribe, man. Okay. Do we have one more?
Okay, one last very short question comes in from Jatin Jug, who says, what are your thoughts on Krunal Pandya's celebration? I don't know. I can't set this one up. I don't know what this is.
Can you show it?
I don't.
क्या नाचा ना और क्या
क्या-
होगा
बस क्या हाँ अच्छा नहीं पर क्या सेलिब्रेशन में क्या किया
बोल भी नहीं
You'll have to
सकते.
show it.
Okay, so there was nothing. It was just a celebration.
It's-
Must have been good. I think
it's-
celebrating
it's-
is good. Good, Kunal. Kunal is married to a school
it's
friend of
real
mine,
low.
by the way. Just what are the odds?
What are you saying?
Yeah. So my school friend Pankuri Sharma is married to
Why do
Kunal
you have to
Pandya.
drop names like that? To
What?
that
Anyone can look up the name. No,
you-
Kunal Pandya's wife.
But
How
you
is that?
didn't give a name for
One
the
second,
entire
one
episode
second, one
last
second,
time.
one second.
But wait, this is a famous person, Baba. What are you talking about?
Silverie, were you invited to the wedding?
Not at all.
Then you're no friend of anybody's.
Like not
So
even a
you've
little
just
bit.
given us a name.
No, she was
There's
a
no
friend
connection.
in school during our 7th and 8th, and then we just grew apart as things happen here. We were in the same class.
She didn't have enough cards for you? What's the scene?
She didn't know I existed anymore.
You were in love with Krunal Pandya's wife?
Yes, oh damn it.
Let's start the show.
Yes.
Let's start the show again. We're
No,
finally
no.
got a topic worth talking about, guys. Come on.
No. But yeah, she was a nice
Wow.
person. And Kunal Pandya, happy. Congrats, man. I never got the chance to tell you that.
Wow,
I
I'm
don't
sure
Are you
you're
heartbroken?
listening to this podcast.
I don't. It's all good. But good on celebrating. You're celebrating your marriage, huh? Nice, Kunal. Okay,
So
sorry.
apparently kissed Pollard's head. Somebody has given us in the celebration,
took
but they are
Pollard's
friends. They go
wicket
back a
and then
long
kissed
way,
him.
etc., etc.
What?
That's a
Yeah.
good thing, yaar. Why is that a
जिसको
bad thing?
out किया उसको किस किया
So,
उसने?
so that the wife,
Huh?
maybe it's a good time to call her because obviously something's going on here.
Hey,
What's going on?
your husband is kissing other
The
men.
moment Vineet said the Parsi prayers, things have gone out of control in India. I tell you, I'm worried.
I think this is going
Yes,
towards
coming
the
boss.
MMA
Okay, my
route. No,
prayers
after
are
a
being-
few years, so it will be full. And then what was Pollard's reaction then?
No, once you finish your thought, but it's okay, Punit.
I'm intrigued.
I
Okay,
mean,
I'll
you've done
search
enough.
on-
This is actually vegetarian stuff, what you're doing now. Don't worry. I'm not worried at all. Yeah. The whole communities
Okay.
have been brought down.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're done.
This is like an anti-climax, no? Like it's going
Yeah.
nowhere, the show. Everybody's tired,
Yeah.
slow, or 4 different directions. Wow. This is what I wanted, honestly.
Okay.
Sukoon, man. Sukoon.
Please like, share, subscribe to all our listeners. And Cyrus, you have
Right
to read,
at the
read
right
something before we end.
Which is not a
Of
prayer.
course. And let me see. I'll just get a thought in my head. Here it comes. Don't forget to download the Jupiter Money app on the Apple Store, the Google Play Store.
Oh.
Don't forget.
What a thought.
Punit, can you
Oh.
repeat that?
Don't go in front of any politician's house and scream about your sponsors. Not a good idea.
Unless you want
And
to share
don't
them.
travel by local Mumbai trains. Another great thought. by
And don't take a diamond out of another man's rectum. 'Cause that's
Do not,
good.
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Without his consent.
I'm-
If he has consent,
Consent,
please.
then
Yeah,
go right ahead.
Yeah.
If he's
Even with his
Take out
consent, I'm
two.
50-50. Huh? Vineet, 50-50 with consent.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. See you guys.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter, on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
Love fighting?
We've got you covered.
Check out our show, The Fighting Goat, where we, the voices of the internet, Arjun Chipalkatti and Somesh Kamra, bring to you crazy weekly action on your favorite combat show, The Fighting Goat.
Be it commentary, breakdown, predictions, analysis of styles and techniques.
And of course, your round of favorite fighters.
You can listen to us every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, and all major podcast streaming platforms.